3:35 in the morning. Yes, I wear a CPAP. This next episode, I talked to my buddy Alan Schwartz about meeting CJ Mosley and stand up versus improv. Enjoy. Going back to bed.
You're a Jets fan, right?
Yeah. Fortunately and unfortunately, after last night, yeah. So
I know. But listen to this. I do food deliveries, Uber Eats deliveries, and
Yeah.
I drove over to like 11 miles from
yeah,
from where I live. 15 miles, and it's this nice big house, and I felt like I was back in LA because right now I'm in New Jersey,
yeah.
and the guy opens the door. It's tall black guy, pretty athletic looking, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm back in LA. I made him chuckle, and I'm like, are you an athlete? And he's like, yeah, I am. He's like, oh, what team do you play for? And he's like, New York Jets. And then right off, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry about Rodgers. I was like, yes, thanks. So I was like, what's your name? It's like, I'm not, I'm like, I'm a Giants fan, but but what's your name?
Yeah.
And he's like, Mosley. I didn't know who he was, but it was a nice guy. I was like, oh, well, it was nice meeting you. It was a really, because I said, it's an honor meeting you. I respect that. I respect athletes more so than actors these days. But CJ Mosley, bro.
Oh shit.
Nice guy. Really nice guy. And he tipped me $20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, this was before the game or after the game, or
just tonight.
Oh, tonight. Oh, okay. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, probably like an hour ago. An hour and a half
awesome.
ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure you might appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah, it was pretty. I was like, holy shit, this guy is huge, and damn, I can tell athletes because they have the way they are. It's they're kind of light on their feet, kind of but still
yeah.
they're light. They're like cats, almost you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, there's some people you look at that
they have a bounce to them. It looks like they can ready to
oh yeah,
they're ready to move and stuff. Because I used to work at Scores, and actually Richard Jefferson used to come in a lot. The basketball player.
Okay.
And he had this bounce to him. It was athletes are like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I guess it's like movie stars too, where there's some people it's just you can tell I think it was in Cafe once. It's one of those built guys and everybody's staring at him because everybody knows he must play for some team or something. But
yeah.
But
yeah, he was. I don't know. It was cool. He was just really nice guy. It's really. He genuinely I think he was genuinely disappointed. He looked genuinely disappointed about Rodgers.
About Rodgers being injured.
Yeah, he kind of just he put his hand on his stomach and was like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. He just did this there. I was like, oh shoot, this guy's really disappointed.
Oh yeah, no, it's weird. I was there's a concurrent celebration and funeral going on at the same time with the Jets right now.
Yeah. Who's your quarterback now?
Zach Wilson.
Is he good? I haven't really been following football. I usually more into hockey, but I'm not deep. I'm not a big football fan.
Yeah.
I follow more hockey, but.
Well, I guess that's the reason why Rodgers was the quarterback, is that Zach Wilson was the hotshot rookie that they signed a few years ago, and he's been struggling. They benched him last year. They signed, and that's the thing with the Jets is that last year they had a really great defense, great wide receiver, great running game before their running back got injured. And basically all the Jets was a quarterback away, so that's why they traded for and signed Rodgers. And the offseason, I don't know if you know about the show Hard Knocks. But it's
yeah, I've heard it. Yeah.
They showed Rodgers mentoring Zach Wilson because it looked like Zach Wilson was actually improving in the preseason because Rodgers was giving him good advice and stuff like that. So, in fairness, Wilson was looking like a well, he was a bust basically. He was looking much better.
Oh, really?
And basically that's why a lot of Jets fans are like, even though they won last night, are acting like they were at a funeral because Wilson has basically sucked his entire career. And I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I obviously don't expect him to be Peyton Manning, but with he has like a new offensive coordinator. Rodgers is giving good advice. I mean, the Jets have a really good team on paper. If he could just be a competent game manager, it's possible they could still be a surprisingly good team. It's just a matter of, whether Zach Wilson can make any improvement now. So
maybe he'll come up. He'll live up. He'll what is it like? Live up to the pressure.
Yeah, live up to the pressure. So, and but this is really tough because he wasn't expecting to, he thought he was going to like sit for a year behind Rodgers, learn some things, maybe, a year or two when Rodgers finally retires, he takes over, and now he's the starting quarterback again. So,
how many more years do you think Rodgers has? Do you think he'll play another next year? I thought he was going to retire. Like I thought he was going to retire like last year. Like,
yeah.
But then again, I don't follow football much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, most players, like 39 years. I don't think there's ever been a player that came back from an Achilles injury this late in their career. So.
Yeah, and plus he's old. Yeah, he's older.
Tom Brady was the rare exception, but Tom Brady's in a class by himself. I don't know if you saw. There's all these memes saying the Jets signed Tom Brady now, but I think that's it for Rodgers. So we'll see.
Yeah. How old is he? Is he over 40?
No, he's 39.
39. Yeah.
Makes me feel like shit because I'm 40 years old and like they always talk about athletes like once they're over 35, it's like they're over the hill. They're 36. They're 37. It's like in real life, like 36 or 37, you're still a relatively young man, but like you're an athlete, you're 37, like you're 85, and I'm like, they're over the hill, they're 40, like I'm fucking 40, so I don't know. So.
Well, it's like ballet dancers. Like if you're past like I think 25, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
At 30, you're like.
Oh yeah, the other thing with Zach Wilson, he's known as the mill punter. I forgot if it was a player or somebody else on the Jets or something else. He slept with a player's mom or something like that a couple years ago. So at least he had that going for him. That's probably the worst thing for Zach Wilson this season now. He's probably just expecting to just like sit on the bench, chase after MILFs, and now he has to play football. So
how's the third string quarterback? How's the third string quarterback on the Jets?
The third string quarterback? Oh.
Third string.
Who is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They have a guy named Tim Boyle, and they signed him because he was like Rodgers' backup on the Packers.
Okay.
Yeah.
They might just put him on.
Yeah, I guess they could put him on. He's their third string, but they really just signed him because like he knows the offensive coordinator system because they brought in the offensive coordinator from that Aaron Rodgers had on the Green Bay Packers to try to like convince Rodgers to sign here. So it's sort of ironic.
Yeah.
And they'll probably sign like a veteran or something like that to like back up Zach Wilson or whatever, some sort of.
Yeah, they can do that, right? They can
do that. Yeah.
Anytime you see it, it's like some sort of free agent. I don't know sports much, man.
Like, no, that's right. Like some sort of free agent they could like, sign, but there's not really many people out there to sign, but they'll find somebody, I guess.
Yeah, I think they did that a long time ago with the Giants. They signed somebody just like middle of the season. They just like because they needed somebody.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty standard with football teams. Like if a player goes down or whatever, they usually are or if they draft a rookie, they'll usually have some sort of veteran veteran backing them up. At least give them advice and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it was really cool meeting him. I was really just like I was like dude, it's an honor meeting you. It's like
that's awesome.
He's got some like I think he was a pro bowler. Baller.
Oh yeah,
He's got like there's some awards. Hold on.
are you allowed to?
Career highlights and awards: 5-time second team All Pro,
Oh yeah,
5-time Pro Baller. That's
yeah,
pretty damn good, bro.
yeah. Are
I
you
got
allowed
to meet a
to?
pro baller.
What did he? What restaurant did he order from? Like, what did he? What was his?
Top's Diner.
Tom's
He
Diner.
ordered pizza. Yeah, he probably ordered like it probably cost him like probably like $30-$40.
Oh, okay.
He tipped me 20.
All right.
You know,
Nice.
at first it was 15, and he bumped it up to another 5.
Okay, good.
Well, yeah, like I did make him laugh. So I was like, you know, it was like a big house.
Yeah.
He lives in a pretty decent neighborhood in New Jersey. So, you know, I was like, dude, I feel like I'm back in LA.
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to talk about like how you used to do stand up, which I'm doing now.
Uh huh.
And now you're doing improv, which I used to do.
Oh yeah. I think we talked about. I forgot that you did a improv also, not just. So we sort of went opposite directions. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you yeah, I was a stand up comedian for like what 2002 to like 2014 ish. Got a little jaded, and then I got like a full time overnight job where in theory you could still do comedy and go to the clubs, and it was just, but I was just too was it a like too tired all the time.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I finally got a day shift again, and I'm like, oh, I'd like to do some sort of comedic thing again. But I was already kind of jaded and burnt out on comedy, and admittedly kind of lazier now. And like improv seemed like, oh, that's cool. You don't really have to really. I mean, not that you don't have to prepare, but like you don't have to like spend an hour a day writing jokes and stuff like that. It's
you never liked writing?
Oh no! I mean, I it was fun. No writing. Even when I got much better as a performer, that was the only thing. Comedy also is I've always felt like I'm a much better writer than performer anyway. But but there's just so much to put into comedy, because the thing with for all comedians, no matter what level they're at, the thing with writing jokes is that like you have to write so many jokes just to get one good joke for your act.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time to develop a good set, to consistently funny set. So it's like for every 100 jokes, 99 of them isn't going to work. So it's like you have to write like 100 jokes to get that one good joke. And it's fine when you're younger, but it adds up after a while.
So do you just sat there and just like thought about the jokes? See, me, sometimes I'll go to a mic,
Yeah.
listen to people. And once my mouth, like I'll get on stage, and once my mouth starts going and going and going, and then afterwards, like, oh, I could have said this, and then I'll also hear like other subjects that other comics are doing. It's like, oh, I don't have a joke about that subject, and I'll do something about that.
Yeah.
But it's like I get ideas just from spitting it out of my mouth as opposed to thinking about it.
That makes sense. I mean, sometimes, that is being a comedian. Basically, is that, I always had a notepad with me. And sometimes ideas would just randomly, pop into my head, and you write it on a notepad, and then you get to write it, you flesh out the idea a little more.
Yeah.
And, that's basically sort of being a comedian. I get what you're saying. Like even now, even though I don't do comedy anymore, I still have that comedic brain where sometimes like, oh, that's a bit. And I'm like, oh, right, I don't do comedy anymore. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, no, I
I,
see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, or at mics and stuff like that. Not at the point where it's like you're stealing a joke or something, but like if somebody says something and it'll give you an idea, like, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
I and also there was a big difference back then compared to now. Like doing, I think because I started doing it like maybe in 2003. When did I meet you? Like 2003, 2004, and like I think you might have been 2 years in because I started doing it. I was 29, 28, 29, no, maybe 26 even.
Okay.
So
And
that
you,
was like 2000, 2002, 2000.
okay.
I'm old. Yeah, I was 25 in 2000.
Okay.
Uh, you started doing it. So I started doing it like 26, 27, 28, 29. I know by 29, I was definitely like around it.
Yeah.
27. I was probably like 27.
Okay.
And to me, it was scary. It was very intimidating. And, and it was just like the New York comedy scene was just like it was a little tougher. Like as opposed to now, like I actually started doing it again in in LA, and they're a little softer in LA. They're more sensitive, they're more forgiving as opposed to back then.
Yeah.
Like New Yorkers are like it's tougher. It's like I don't know I guess toughness isn't a word, like not colder, but like more aggressive and like, dude, it sucks. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or in LA, it'll be like they won't say anything. It's like, it's all right, just leave it.
Yeah.
Move on to the next. See what works. Let's just do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I'm assuming. Well, I mean, could be wrong. I'm assuming in LA, you probably had like more like real, or no, it was like also like mainly comedians in the crowd on the open mics and stuff like that. Or
Yeah.
okay, because yeah, like that's the other thing. Like, when you're in New York and just starting out, and like, the only place to flesh out your set is open mics, and comedians don't generally laugh at other comedians, so it's it could be tough and hostile and hostile
That's the
environments.
word, hostile. It's a little
Yeah,
hostile. But in
yeah,
LA now, it's like they'll help you out. Like I had one girl, like Jessica Alanis. She helped me out with a joke about like I had a joke about like my fear that Robert De Niro and Al Pacino would end up doing gay porn, and I
okay,
acted it out. And she gave me a title, "The Italians of Staten Island." I was like, "Oh, that's a good one, thanks."
yeah,
So I ran with it. She was like, "She's great. They're just supportive." You know what I mean? She was there like taking notes. I'm like at an open mic.
nice.
She was great. Thank you, Jessica.
All
I don't
right,
know if she'll
yeah.
ever see this, but yeah.
Oh no,
But
that's awesome. Yeah, and, I mean, some comedians would like there was some open mics. I don't know if you remember the Parkside Lounge back in
I've
the.
heard. I remember it, but I've never been there.
That was
Maybe
like
I walked past it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a brutal. In fairness, like I was just starting out, like like if I could do it over again, I would like not set foot in that place until I was like at least doing comedy for 5 years. Like that was so brutal. Like it was just like dead silence. Like whenever I went there, but some people like actually, it was like known as like that place, but some comedians that was why they like going there because it's like if you could get a laugh from that crowd, like it's a good bit. So I mean, there are
Right.
some advantages to
So
those,
tough. Yeah.
those type of places.
See,
But
see in LA, like what's intimidating would be it's not. It's all the same people.
yeah,
Like in LA, like they'll have like which is I started off doing open mics again at the Hollywood Comedy Club. And
yeah,
what they do, they have like the slotted, like every hour there's a mic from like noon till like 8 p.m. You pay your $5, and there's
yeah,
like 9 people doing the show, doing the mic, and then you go to the Hollywood Improv where there's like, dude, there's probably like 100 people waiting who are they've thrown their names in a bucket,
oh
and
yeah,
I mean, there's like 100 people, there's like 100 comics, and but they're all the same. They're kind of like it's more light. It's not as hostile. So they're like you'll get laughs, like and it's like oh that works, and you can just like even if you don't get laughs, it's like you look out into the audience. There's people who are like oh that you can tell it works, just by the look of the face. But over here in New York, it's like yeah, it don't work. It's like they're more judgmental.
Yeah.
Just like just by look,
Yeah. And although another thing, in fairness, I don't know if it's like that in LA, which would drive me crazy. Like an open mic, a lot of comedians they tell the same joke every week, even at an open mic, when you like be writing new material and testing stuff out. So a lot of the comics not laughing at other comics is hearing their crap before.
Which, jokes again, yeah.
I guess it's part of why like improv is more supportive, like jams, like other improv performers laugh at other improv performers, but that could also be because we're saying new stuff every week at jams. Stuff like that. So.
Well, I actually enjoy hearing like a comic repeat his routine and then seeing how the audience reacts to it. It's pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, at a real show, obviously you do your best stuff. Like, at open mics, that's where you flesh out ideas that you haven't, tried at shows for real audiences. And there's some comedians, they told the same joke at open mic. I mean, it's one thing to like do the same set and sprinkle in some ideas, but a lot of them would just do the same set week after week.
Yeah, not great. I like to mix in it. Like I'll get tired. Like I gotta do something else. And I like to mix in something, or like let me write a whole new set. I actually sometimes I started doing it. I just would write a joke just because it was bad, and I just go on just to fail.
You'd go on.
Does that make sense? What?
Like you knew the joke wouldn't work?
Yeah, you knew the joke wouldn't work. I was like, fuck, screw it. I'm just gonna go in and just say it anyway. See how the audience reacts. I just do that. I just like.
Were you ever surprised? Was there ever the audience actually laughed at the joke you thought wasn't gonna work?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, what I like is like, what the hell is he saying? What it is, I just like pushing people's buttons in a way. I think that's just my personality. As you know me for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. As long as you're self-aware of that.
I'm like, I enjoy it. I'm starting to enjoy it now. Like you've helped me out a lot. I met you with that book, Complete Idiot to Comedy Writing.
Oh yeah,
really just like yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, Jim Madrinos. He's great guy, but his book was what really helped me with writing too. Because there's a great exercise in the book. If you don't have any ideas itself, just find a dictionary or magazine and find random words and just think in your head what's funny about this word, and then all of a sudden other ideas will be
I like doing those exercises, how to generate jokes.
Yeah,
that helps a lot. Like I got this one joke mastering stand up, and then I got this other one. I forgot his name. Greg Dean's book is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. So
Mandy Shore's book, Pauly Shore's sister. That was the first. But Mandrinos, I actually met him, and I did a show with him when I first came back from LA, in probably early July.
Yeah.
I did a show with him because my buddy Tommy knew him, and he was on the show, and I was like, dude, I was like, hey, thanks for, I have your book, and he's like, helped me out a lot. And he's like, thanks for buying it. I'm like, well, thanks for writing it.
Oh yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's at a comedy club here, a comedy diner in Newark. I've yet to do a mic there, but I think they're starting up again in the fall soon.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, those books are helpful. Or even, I guess the original How to Write Jokes book for stand-up comedy, Judy Carter, was sort of a controversial book. It's sort of traditional set up punchline, or a lot of people found it's training how to become a hack, because it's a lot of talk about your background, I'm half this and half that, so that makes me this. But for just somebody who doesn't know how to write a joke yet, it's decent exercise.
Yeah.
So
it's really just like, yeah, I finally got confident once I got to like, I knew the setup punchline, but then you were like, be more punchy with the punch, like be more, emphasize more the punchline. But then writing the setup punchline is different from actually performing it.
Yeah.
There's like a whole, like delivering it, pausing. Because I came from an acting background and I'm like, oh, this, well, you just gotta like be in the moment and stuff. Like, now you gotta like pause before, like, pause before a punchline, and afterwards you gotta pause and then like practice inflections. That's for me, that's what works.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like, and slowing down big time because I speak fast.
Yeah, no, that was, like I said, that was
You've always told me to slow down also.
yeah, no, that was another thing with self-critique in comedy. I would talk fast too, and that's obviously I forgot who it was. Somebody's advice was always in comedy: if you think you're talking too slow, go even slower. Like, that's the thing with
Was that you? I think you said Nate Bargatze, Gatsy, or
Oh, okay, no, he was like a comic I would use as like an example of like he's not the guy who gave me the advice, but he's the comedian. Like, whenever I would, like, when I was giving you advice, he was the guy I told you to like watch. Like, he's like the perfect example of somebody who speaks very slowly and it's hilarious because you understand everything everything he says. And he has he's from like Tennessee or something. So he's very slow, stubborn drawl. It's he's hilarious. But yeah, he's definitely like person I think of when I think of who to watch for learning how to talk slow on stage.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, slowing down definitely, like, what I found is like you'll find more of the comic moments if I do slow down. I didn't know that, because usually if you're talking fast, it's like you just kind of just rush over it. But if you slow down, it's like you actually just like, even just slowing down and getting that slowing down and pausing.
Yeah,
it actually makes people laugh because it's uncomfortable a bit. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. It's like, just even like same inflections, even it's like consciously doing it.
Yeah, because a lot's just understanding you. I mean, this is might be a weird analogy, but like TV is like weird now. Like my parents say they like have trouble watching some of these TV shows because the actors are talking too fast and stuff like that. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, there's like just something with like dialogue and and everybody being unable to understand you on a general level. That definitely helps because I also I remember this one comedian. He was sort of like stuck in open mics for like 20 years. His career never really took off, and he's a nice guy and all, but I think a lot of it was at a bit of a lisp. It was hard to understand him sometimes. His material wasn't bad, but it's just one of those things where I think it's a lot of it's being able to communicate to the audience.
Yeah. See, me, I've noticed that, like, I did speak too fast. I'm glad you told me to slow down.
Yeah.
Because when I do speak too fast, it's like I run over the moments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and the audience is not. I gotta like wait for the audience. Well, I gotta slow down so the audience can catch up with me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're not following me.
Yeah, because those
were like, huh?
Yeah, my best sets when I did comedy was the ones where I remembered to slow down. That was like my biggest. That was it comes from my own comedy. My advice, like that was my biggest. It was my biggest. I generally enjoy doing stand up, and like I didn't want to sound like I have regrets, but it's just to do some things over again would be like slowing down when I talk on stage and stuff like that.
Would you ever? Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm saying I guess I talk fast in general in real life too. I guess that's it. Slowing down, drinking less coffee and less caffeine, so I can not talk as fast.
Speaking of coffee, I don't drink coffee anymore, man. It kind of like gave me heartburn. I forgot I had a small hiatal hernia, so I was drinking coffee for like a week, like every day, like a week and a half every day. Then I would stuff myself with like
Yeah.
hot sauce, and like it gave me like bad heartburn. I thought I was having a heart attack. I'm like, okay, enough of this
Yeah.
shit, you know. So you don't think you'll go back to comedy though, right? Stand up. I wish you would, because we would like run,
Yeah,
hit the
no,
mics.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We would like hit the mics and maybe like try to get.
Oh yeah, no, that would be fun, but like I'm enjoying doing doing improv right now. I'm still this is like a year, still a relatively newbie at it, but it's I guess that's the other thing. It's like fun and fresh. Where like comedy
Yeah.
always created. I mean, yeah, there are sometimes some things I is because even improv. It's the saying of one of the actually he still does comedy too. That's one of Chris Griggs' favorite sayings. The group mind is greater than the individual. Like everybody does
Yeah.
well on stage. So like we're all part of a collective team. Like we're all funny at once. I don't want to sound selfish, but sometimes I do miss when it was just me in the spotlight. And now so it's nice when you're doing like I haven't done many like improv like real shows besides like graduation shows or or whatever. I'm still new there, but it is you know I still have that comedic mind. When I'm thinking of self critiques and improv, because improv is a lot of getting to the joke by being realistic in the beginning. But I still have that comedic mind where if I say a line that I think is funny and it doesn't get a laugh, like I still think I'm like doing stand up and like it'll like fuck with my head. And it's like, no, it's okay if you don't get a laugh at improv. You're
That's
trying to
yeah.
you're trying to find it along the way. It's not like comedy where it's like set a punchline, consistent laughs per second. It doesn't work the same way. So there are times where I'm like, when I do get a laugh at improv, it's nice, but then we're on to the next scene and like other people are getting laughs, and it's like, there might be, and it's like and it's like, hey, everybody did great, but I'm like, I miss when it was just me. Sometimes I miss when it was. Sometimes I miss when like it was just me having a good set, and I stood out. But it's all right.
I think it's more of a rush when you're doing it by yourself. I feel that.
Yeah.
But I like being part of I love being part of a group. So to me, being part of a group is being part of like the stand-up lineup. See, does that make sense? I don't feel like I feel like I'm part of the lineup that's putting together a show for the audience. That's the group I feel like I'm in.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. And yeah, it's a little bit different because
like we're like team. It's like a wrestling team. Like you're going out there by yourself, but you're still a team where like you're getting points for the whole team.
Oh yeah, I guess that's why I will admit, because I think it drove me crazy when I did stand up. I think you remember like my persona. I'm sort of like a young Jewish Woody Allen. I'm very quirky, sort of like nervous on stage on purpose, and people would think that's like I was like actually nervous, and it's like a lot of it's like, no, I just drink too much caffeine and I'm quirky and neurotic. So but improv actually I can find can actually be much more scarier than stand up, because you're with a group of people, you don't want to let them down.
Really?
Yeah. You screw up, you bomb in stand up, you bomb on your own. I mean, it's embarrassing, but at least you didn't at least you only like let yourself down, so.
Well, what I learned from improv is that like if you drop the ball, someone else is gonna pick it up. You gotta trust that.
Yeah, no, true.
That's why I always what?
Yeah, no, true, but you still feel bad though, even if it
really,
if it goes well, but you're the weak link in the chain, you feel, or
That's true. If you feel like you're the weak link, you just got.
And the other thing with
that I feel that.
Yeah, and and it's a lot of Wild Wild West, because the thing with like improv, you go into a scene with one idea. Unlike stand up, you get to tell all your jokes, but if somebody gets to what they were thinking of before you, you have to go to their idea.
Yeah, you got to roll with it.
You have to roll with it. So
that's what's fun about it. To me, that's what's fun about improv, and and what you said about stand up, that's what's fun about that.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah,
I guess I see both sides and like, but I like expressing my ideas, and that's why I like stand up. Yeah, but I always loved writing.
yeah,
That's why, because I like expressing my ideas. Improv is just like it's you're expressing the group's ideas like a group consciousness thing. But I do have moments like, oh, I said that, and like that's great.
oh yeah. But I mean, I think it's just a matter of like finding a creative outlet, and stuff like that. Whether it's comedy related or acting related.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you in the Screen Actors Guild? No.
no.
I
think,
got you into it, right? I remember we did a.
I think we did that. I think I never applied because I think by that horror series I did with you, I think I would have been eligible. I just never applied to be in SAG.
I mean, you're probably still eligible. You can make money from that because I know there's a SAG strike, but the SAG strike doesn't touch the commercials, so I can still do commercials. And I just like I jumped on the casting networks and where you submit for background work. So I'm doing that. It's like because I'm in SAG, I do I'll get paid like $428 for commercial background work.
Yeah.
For the day. I know you work every day though. I don't know.
That's cool. And but yeah, a lot of improv or comedy, like doing improv was just like now that I have somewhat of a life again to do stuff, do stuff after work, do stuff on the weekends. It's just like finding a creative outlet just to have some sort of hobby and something to do.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's what it is. As long as you're having fun,
Yeah, as long as I'm having fun, and yeah, that's true. And that's initially I'm like, okay, it's just a hobby to have fun, but now I do have that, just like stand up now. Now it is, it is starting to become addictive now. Because and
it was never addicted to me. I was always kind of scared of it.
Of stand up. Or
of stand up, yeah, I'm fine. Like I thought that you meant improv.
Yeah, but it's like, oh no, that's all right. But it's like the same thing. Like in stand up, it's like, you do one, one set or two sets, and it goes really well, and it's like, and like it's like a drug because you're like, oh, maybe I should just call it quits for the night and like go out one on top, and it's like, no, I'm a dick. I want to do another show, and it's
Well, I like, what it is? I like analyzing myself. It's like, what did I do wrong? I get very analytical. And that. Like, I'm like, I'll text you like in the middle of the night, like, dude, what did I do wrong?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, totally, yeah. So,
that's what I love about it. I love like pulling back and like, all right, what did I do? I enjoy that.
No, that's good. That's actually what most comedians should be doing is like analyzing their set and analyzing their jokes. It's good to be a comedy nerd. So yeah.
Yeah, but I do that like even when I play like I played a lot of hockey. I'm going back to it now because I got hurt. But
yeah.
I always like pull back and like, all right, what did I do with the breakaway? What did I do wrong? How come this person stole the pass from me? I'll analyze stuff. Like I'll analyze my performance in any way possible. Or even like meeting a girl, like back then, it's like, like, all right, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong?
Yeah.
I'm like that. Anyway, all right. Our time's up, but
okay.
I'm sure we'll have you back on again.
Okay, cool. It was great talking to you again.
Yeah.
Happy back on anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You want to tell people where they can follow you if you want, or you don't have to?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Facebook.com/Alan Schwartz, Twitter or X.com or whatever it is /Alan S Comedian, Instagram /Alan S127. Yeah, so I'm on all the all the social media things. I mean, mainly Facebook and somewhat Twitter. Trying to get on Instagram.
You got any shows coming up for improv? I know you had a show, but I couldn't go because I'm taking care of my mom.
Yeah.
A show last Sunday. I think it was the 9th.
Yeah, I had my improv, my level 4 graduation show at the Pit recently. But I don't have any shows coming up. I'm kind of in that in between stage because I just graduated one level class, level 4. Like the only class left is level 5. And like I said, like it's something that I'm like doing as sort of like a hobby and having fun. Like the only level 5 class they have is on Sundays, and I hate the value of football over improv, but I'm like, that's football Sundays. I can't, so I can't.
Hey, what I have on my Instagram is hockey over art. I get you. I feel you.